I'm Zarin Gardner, and welcome to the 9th edition of 202 TV. Late last year, our broadcast class had a chance to enter the Teen Dating Video Challenge sponsored by the Illinois Coalition Against Domestic Violence. We competed against entries from all over the state, and we're proud and happy to announce our entry was judged the best. Here it is.
I never thought it could happen to me. What I thought was going to be the best night of my life turned into the worst. It was my junior prom. I thought we were having a good time. I thought he cared. I never thought my night would end like this. There was something about him I felt like I could never let go of. He was so perfect and usually made me happy. I always thought it was so cute how I was the only person in his world. I loved the attention he gave me. Maybe it's my fault he gets this way. Maybe he did nothing wrong. At the same time, I hate how worthless and powerless he made me feel that night. I never thought it would get to this point. Every year, nearly 1.5 million high school students nationwide experience abuse from a dating partner. I never thought it could happen to me.
Each year, the Leewood School District hosts an enormous display show for model train enthusiasts. Ever been to it? Here's what it's like.
The Lena Show started 29 years ago and in the American Legion building downtown. Quite obviously it has grown through the years, and with that in mind, the school district has been kind enough to work with the Depot Stove gang and getting them, the Stove gang and the school district involved with the cafetorium, whatever it's called, is a great addition. Then the high school is filled with trains, so we have 3 different venues of vendors selling things and also the running of trains. Or you've even got some people just offering advice, books on trains, and things railroad related. I've already this weekend had a man come up with a picture and have me identify what vintage that locomotive would be, what years might it be. So our particular layout has 5 loops of train tracks, but particularly buttons for kids of all ages to press. You unload logs or barrels, blocks of wood, you press a button and make a train run. You press a button and drop a crossing gate, or Sir Topham Hatt comes popping out, or the road runner, or something a little bit crazy. And we are not collectors, we are operators. So we have a great deal of fun. Our particular layout is made up of Sheenekes. That's my name. Paul is my name. Sheeneke Bruce is a cousin of mine, and his son Barry, all of them Sheenekes. How old are some of the trains? Some of them are very, very new, and quite honestly, very fancy in the sense of some of the operating technology, we'll call it, the horns and bells and whistles. Some of the ones that I run are from the 1950s. And yes, I've been at it all of my life and was given a train at birth by the family doctor. Mom and Dad had no children for 17 years, and suddenly I came along. Mother was 40 years old when she delivered me in 1940, and the doctor simply said, if it's a boy, I'll give you a train. That's it, home on the top shelf, and yes, it runs as good as the day I got it. So it is the same as me, 77 years old. Been at it all of my life, and the home layout is then made from things that you would throw away. Things that you would throw away in the kitchen, in the garage, whatever. A quick example, you've got a key. This will go into a cemetery. Think of it, if you'll plug this, paint this to make sure it's not shiny, a maroon or a gray, a piece of styrofoam, and you'll put this in, and now you've got your start. to a real nice rural cemetery. If you've got Chrysler products, they're a different shaped key. This. This is using what you have around the house and not paying a whole lot of money. Are trains expensive? They are only expensive if you abuse them. If you keep them, you in fact will have trains for a lifetime. And some of these, yes, I might have paid $25 for the first locomotive that I bought way back in the 1950s, but I'm still running it. So it's a comparison of new versus old. It is a hobby that absorbs, and you can do whatever part of it you want to do. You can work strongly with the electrical part of it, various fancy wiring. You can do some gorgeous scenery. You can do some very intricate little scenes within your home layout. Not so much here at the show, but all of our layout is set up Saturday morning. So from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock, we're putting together a layout on 12 tables. All of the track is loose. We're looking at bare tables when we walk in here on Saturday morning. It is a lifelong hobby, and I love it. If you can't tell that, by golly, you haven't sat with me here at a train show.
We'd like to introduce a new feature on 202 TV called Wordplay, showcasing the writing talents of our students. Here's Lee Wynn freshman Jacob Malloy reciting one of his poetry selections.
Hold on to nothing, and you will have nothing to hold on to. Love no one, and no one will love you. Live the life of a degenerate, and you will be segregated from all mankind. But if you live the life of a caretaker, you will be taken care of. The way you live is your own choice, but sometimes your actions will have repercussions. You do control your own destiny, though. In Exodus 7 through 12 in the Bible, God sent 10 plagues to Egypt because a Pharaoh had enslaved the Israelites. This was a repercussion of his own actions. The world holds us to protect it, but we are killing it with our pollution. We make our own decisions. We also sell our own cancers and kill one another. Every single family that we have now is a new gang. Every single lover we have now is a new prostitute. Every single word we say is a new explicity. And we in our youths are no better than we. We have means to try to protect, though. We do have some good. We try to teach our youngins to be better than we were. We try to teach our older people to live better. But somehow, it just never works. We are not one person anymore. Somehow, we became many different people after a long period of time, and every other person hates one another. Power is not the key, though, to trying to get everything back on course. There is a way, only 4 simple ways. Love. Love one another, and you can get back to a world that is more peaceful. Faith. You have to have faith. Having faith into something that you thought could never save you, that is going to destroy you. Respect. You have to respect everything. The rules, the laws, the people in which you have to trust, and which leads us into trusting. You have to trust that the people that say you must trust them will lead you to where you need to be. If only we knew what we may lose.
As everyone knows, this is farm country, and our school year wouldn't be complete without Ag Week.
This is a big deal in the FFA world. It's something that every state across the nation here celebrates. We have a large number of people that are in FFA in the state of Illinois itself. It's actually the biggest youth organization that we have in the country. There's no other group of kids who has more members than our FFA chapters do. So in order to help celebrate that week, we had a committee of kids that picked some events that we were going to do to kind of highlight some of the things that you can do in the ag industry, and also just to kind of have some fun and show the rest of the student body some things that we could have, for example, the rest of the people to see. So for example, every day they chose a dress-up day. So they had days where they dressed in flannel or camo, or America Day, so patriotic, red, white, and blue. Then they did the chapter t-shirt or FFA jacket the last day, Friday. To go along the dress-up days, we did some other events, like we sponsored a elementary school coloring book contest where they preschool through third graders got coloring pages and got to be as part of that contest. It was kind of fun for them. We also did the throw the hay bale event where they literally take a hay bale and they throw it and see how far they could do. And our winners for that this year was in the guys categories, a guy named Jake Diddens who threw it for 34 feet. And then sophomore Bennett Dunleavy threw it for 28 feet. We do split it off from the girls because they're not quite as strong. So the winner on the girls' side was Hope Inc., and she threw hers for, I think, 15 feet, and second was Hannah, a freshman, who had 11 foot for hers. Another event we had besides the hay bale toss was an Ag Olympics. Ag Olympics is one that takes a little more planning. It's kind of similar to the homecoming assembly in that there's some short games that kids do compete against, not just classes like freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, but also just amongst themselves. So for example, the events we had this year, we had an event where they had a bucket of corn and they had to dig around the bucket of corn to find the penny, and it was called Find the Money, and whoever found the money first was the winner there. We did the contest, we did tug of war, and the juniors were by far the most excited group to do this. They had planned out who was going to be on their team. They did a really good job though, and they ended up winning the whole thing. That was good for them to do. We also did a pie eating contest, and we had a senior win that for his last year getting to eat the chocolate pie, so it was a contest he did really well at. Another event we had that day was where you had like cornhole type game where you have that little animal. You had to put the animal in its pen, which is just a bucket, so you just threw it across several feet to see who could go quickest with that. We do a couple other events that are not necessarily the same time as National FFA Week, but go along with it. We do our Drive Your Tractor to School Days coming up here in about 2 weeks, where any student who has access to, maybe they borrow it from their boss or a friend or a neighbor, they can drive their tractor to school. And then we invite the elementary students to come over and they kind of pretend to drive the tractors as part of the things they're doing for the day and come in for some hot chocolate. So we have a lot of events, and it was a lot of fun. The kids enjoyed planning it and enjoyed participating. The goal is to kind of have the whole school say, you know, what does FFA do? So even if they're only going to see it for a week of a couple events there, they're aware of our organization and encourage our members to not always just having to do a contest, because we have fun things we do as well. It doesn't always have to be we want to beat the other schools in our area. So we had a lot of success, and we hope to repeat this again next year.
That's it for our 9th edition of 202 TV. See you next time.